Good evening. Tonight we examine a transformation that has left the music industry's elite questioning their own relevance. For decades, the child prodigy narrative followed a predictable, often tragic path: early fame, a restrictive multi-album contract, and an eventual fade into obscurity or public struggle. But as of March 2026, Angelina Jordan has broken the cycle by executing what many insiders are calling a silent coup against the traditional record label model. While the world was looking for her on the Billboard charts, she was busy building a private infrastructure that makes her one of the most financially sovereign artists of her generation. How did a girl who once sang barefoot in Norway become a digital tycoon by the age of 20? The answer isn't just in her vocal cords, it's in her contracts. It's the phone call every aspiring artist dreams of, yet it's the exact same one Angelina Jordan reportedly walked away from in a move that stunned the Los Angeles music scene. By early 2025, the industry was buzzing with a singular question. Why would an artist at the peak of her momentum choose to sever ties with Republic Records, a powerhouse home to names like Taylor Swift and Drake? Our investigation into this great divorce reveals a calculated strategy rather than a creative fallout. Sources close to the 2025 negotiations suggest that Jordan was presented with a standard 360 deal, a contract where the label takes a percentage of everything from touring to merchandise. For a legacy-minded artist, this was a non-starter. Instead of signing her life away for a massive upfront check, Jordan opted for the exit strategy. This wasn't a sudden burst of ego. It was a surgical removal of the middleman. By reclaiming her master recordings, she effectively ensured that every stream, every sync license, and every radio play from 2026 onward would flow directly into her own private holdings. This move sent shockwaves through the industry, as it signaled a new era where the talent no longer needs the machine to reach the masses. The cost of this freedom was high: a temporary blackout from major label-controlled radio stations. But as we've seen, the silence was only the beginning of a much louder roar. But walking away from a major label was just the first move in her master plan. While most artists spend years agonizing over a single perfect release, Angelina Jordan decided to flood the market on her own terms, releasing two distinct bodies of work that many claim were too raw for the mainstream suits to handle. In late 2025, she bypassed the traditional single-end music video, hype cycle, and dropped Secret of the Soul and Secret of the Star. From a reporting standpoint, the contents of these albums are a radical departure from the jazz standard covers that initially made her a viral sensation. These records delved into original, haunting compositions that dealt with the pressures of global fame and the isolation of being the girl with the old soul. Insiders suggest that these tracks were originally intended for a major label release, but the unfiltered nature of the lyrics, which some say touched on the darker side of the industry, caused friction. By releasing them independently, she didn't just share music, she shared a manifesto. This dark horse strategy served two purposes. It solidified her brand as a serious songwriter and acted as a filter for her fanbase, separating the casual listeners from the die-hard angels who were willing to follow her into deeper, more complex territory. The financial implications were massive. By owning the publishing rights to both albums entirely, her per-stream revenue was nearly 5 times higher than that of her signed peers. However, this level of independence required a physical home for her art, leading to one of the most controversial residencies in modern history. With the money rolling in, the industry started asking where she was really getting her influence. In the world of high-stakes entertainment, exclusivity is the ultimate currency. But for Angelina Jordan, it became a point of fierce public debate when the prices for her 2026 Vegas residency were finally revealed. When the marquee at the Westgate, Las Vegas, lit up with her name in January 2026, the excitement was quickly met with sticker shock. Investigative reports into the primary and secondary ticket markets showed VIP angel packages retailing for upwards of $840. This sparked a wave of gatekeeping accusations across social media, with longtime fans claiming they were being priced out of her growth. From a business perspective, however, this was the Jordan protocol in full effect. By positioning herself as a premium live act, akin to the legendary performers of the 1950s, she shifted the narrative from viral child star to prestige artist. Our sources indicate that the high price points were a deliberate move to fund her independent operations without relying on outside investors. Every sold-out show was a middle finger to the skeptics who claimed she couldn't draw a crowd without a label's marketing budget behind her. Yet the controversy wasn't just about the money. It was about the atmosphere of mystique she began to cultivate, refusing to do meet and greets and keeping the press at an arm's length. This created a vacuum of information that was quickly filled by rumors regarding her inner circle and the people actually pulling the strings. But her biggest battle wasn't with producers, it was with her own past. Behind every great voice is a secret architect, and for Angelina, that architect was the man behind some of the 21st century's biggest hits, but their partnership may have produced more than the public was ever allowed to hear. Toby Gad, the songwriter responsible for hits like All of Me, has been a mentor to Jordan since her early teens. However, in 2026, whispered reports began to surface regarding the lost tapes, a series of recording sessions from late 2024 that were reportedly scrapped due to their intense, lyrical content. These sessions were said to explore the emotional toll of her meteoric rise, including the heavy burdens placed on her shoulders from a young age. While some speculated that these tracks were withheld to protect her image, others suggest they were weaponized as leverage during her departure from Republic Records. The Gad-Jordan partnership is a fascinating case study in artistic protection. Gad reportedly helped her navigate the shark-infested waters of music publishing, ensuring she didn't fall into the same traps as the stars who came before her. Lost tapes remain the holy grail for her fanbase, with rumors of a leaked 2026 white label vinyl floating around the dark corners of the internet. This mystery has only added to her allure, making her more than just a singer. She's become a puzzle that the world is desperate to solve. But as we looked closer, we found that her most powerful weapon wasn't a song at all, but a digital fortress. People wonder if she'll ever go back to the old Hollywood style that made her famous. While the rest of the industry was begging for likes on Instagram, Angelina Jordan was quietly building a walled garden that has turned her into a multimillionaire before her 21st birthday. By the middle of 2026, financial analysts estimated Jordan's net worth to be in the $5 million range, a staggering figure for an artist who hasn't had a traditional radio hit in years. Our reporting shows that this wealth wasn't built on Spotify streams, which pay fractions of a penny, but through a highly sophisticated digital fortress. By migrating her most loyal fans to a tiered Patreon and a private Discord Angel community, she created a direct-to-consumer pipeline. In this ecosystem, fans pay for access rather than just music. This includes everything from private live-streamed rehearsals to limited-edition barefoot-themed merchandise. This model bypasses the algorithmic lottery of social media, ensuring that her career is cancel-proof and algorithm-proof. She doesn't need to go viral anymore because she owns the platform. This level of financial insulation has allowed her to turn down massive offers for reality shows and commercial endorsements that she feels would cheapen the brand. It is a masterclass in modern fame. Stay small enough to be exclusive, but big enough to be a powerhouse. The question remains, however, can a music empire built on secrecy and high-priced exclusivity survive the test of time? Angelina isn't a child star anymore. She's a CEO who owns every note she sings. As we look at the landscape of the music industry in 2026, Angelina Jordan stands as a polarizing but undeniable success story. She has effectively dismantled the idea that a young artist needs a parental label to guide them. By taking control of her masters, her image, and her distribution, she has created a blueprint for the sovereign artist. Whether you view her as a brilliant entrepreneur or an artist who has become too elite for the common fan, one thing is certain. She is no longer the little girl in the oversized shoes. She is a woman who realized that in the music business, the only way to win the game is to own the board. As the industry continues to struggle with shrinking margins and AI-generated competition, the Jordan Protocol may be the only way for true talent to survive.